He's been in there for a long time. Hey, what are you doing in there, bud? It's been a while. I'm just taking a quick 40-minute shower. Okay. Gas station jerky.
I thought the sound of the water would throw you off.
No. Give it to me. Stupid. Welcome back, buddies. We're going to be making some venison jerky today. I have here part of a venison top round. I was lucky enough to take down a deer this last November with all three of my daughters in the blind with me. Funny story, I went out there, I didn't expect to obviously see anything because they are 5, 8, and 9 years old. And they're loud and they never stop talking. So I never actually expected to see anything, and then out of nowhere, one of them was like, "Hey, Dad, check it out." I was like, "Yeah, right, whatever." Whoa, yes, there was a deer. And I said, "Yeah, well, let's look at it. It's never gonna get close enough to shoot, ever." Plot twist, it totally came right up to the blind, about a 35-yard shot. Took my one daughter off my lap, set her down, cocked my crossbow, and the deer turned perfect broadside and dropped it. Pretty neat story. So, now for jerky, I usually take the entire hindquarter. Did a quick butchering job on this myself in November. Cut a couple little chunks off here, but for the most part, we can just zip right through this. For jerky, you want to make darn sure you've got as much silver skin off as possible. This stuff here, it's going to be tough. It will never, ever soften up. It'll just be gross. Now, if you look up any jerky recipe, they will either say to slice it with the grain or against the grain. I have made literally hundreds of pounds of jerky in my life. There's not enough of a difference to religiously follow with or against the grain. So, what I do, I just lop off chunks. Looking for a 1/4 inch or less. And this is the whole muscle, so as you can see, parts will separate. Meat. Okay, now we're going to start our marinade. I usually do this beforehand and get it good and cold, but whatever. So in here I have all our wet ingredients, which is soy sauce, liquid smoke, and a splash of apple cider vinegar. We will link the whole recipe in the description. Okay, so for our dry ingredients, we have Montreal Canadian steak seasoning, minced garlic, brown sugar, ground sage, black pepper, chili powder, and some chili flakes. So we're literally just dissolving the sugar and salt in here. We don't necessarily need, or at the moment want, this to be hot when we add it to our meat. Good. My daughter likes to, when we make jerky at home, the littlest one, she calls it the jerky sauce. And she'll just take her own little bowl. Okay, so that chunk of meat minus the little scraps I took off, was just barely over a pound. Now, if you have this at home and know what you're doing, cool. If you have this at home and don't know what you're doing, don't touch it. Prague powder number 1, it could kill you, or at least make you very, 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 very sick. Rule of thumb is 1 level teaspoon per every 5 pounds of meat. We don't have a 1/5 teaspoon. So, instead of that, we are going to use 1.4 grams of this per pound. We have pretty much exactly a pound. 1.4 of the pink salt, Prague powder number 1. Put that in our marinade. Lastly, then stir. So that pink salt that we added, the Prague powder number 1, that's a bacterial inhibitor. It's the cure of the recipe. So since we're dehydrating our jerky at a danger zone temperature at like 160, 170, that'll make it less likely for bacteria to grow. And the same possible, I said less likely. So we will cool this all the way down, add it to our meat, and we're gonna leave this for at least 12 hours. I think 12 hours is about the right amount of time for venison. Beef jerky, I'd go 24 for sure, but venison, I think it picks up too much of the salt after 12 hours, so I'll go 12 hours. And we'll see you in 12. So last night I cut up some jerky, marinated it overnight. We're gonna get that on our dehydrator. So just nice even layer. Now we're just gonna throw our top on and plug her in. It'll be about 6-8 hours till we're finished, but I'll be checking after 6 hours every 45 minutes or so, just to make sure it's not too dry.
Gas station jerky.
I can tell.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Hint of shower water. Good. I'm only disappointed I didn't clean my palate of that gas station trash. This is the Noms.
It's better.
This is delicious.
So good.
All the yes. All the yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how you make better jerky.
It's good.
It's good.